Como dijo mi mamá, la fe que tengo es tan grande.
Very quick, a very 2-second translation of that. He was expressing the real life, the human side of the immigrant, and how and why he had to come here and others have to come to this country. Thanks to the free trade agreements, thanks to the poverty and the war that is being produced by the 1% and all over the world, and they have to come here as a day labor to Portland.
So one of the stops that we're going to be making on our march today, I wanted to let you know about it. We're going to be stopping at the World Trade Center. The World Trade Center downtown is emblematic of the free trade agreements that have ripped people away from their homes, that have destroyed economies throughout Latin America and throughout the world, and forced people to migrate across borders, forced families to move away from their homelands. We're going to be stopping there today. Next up, we have Cindy from Northwest Immigrant Youth Alliance.
Hello everybody, my name's Cindy. I'm undocumented, unafraid, and unashamed. And I stand here today with all the undocumented immigrant communities from around the world that we will no longer be marginalized. We will no longer be held down by anti-immigrant policies that affect all of our communities and our safety. And we all deserve safety, fair jobs, education, and health care. Youth from around the country have came out of the shadows and have joined allies and have joined a bunch of community members trying to organize and fighting for just and fair worker rights and fundamental human rights, because we are undocumented, but we're also workers of this country. So I come here to say that the free trade agreements will no longer silence us. We will continue to organize, and we will continue to fight, and we will continue to raise our voices as the 99%.
As Cindy mentioned, one of the other stops we're going to be making on the march today is in front of Wells Fargo. They profit from racism, they profit from the private prison industry, they work to pass legislation that puts family members in jail and that rips families apart. They make money off of this. Divest from private prisons. Private prisons should not be an industry that you can make money off of. Next up, we have Guillermo and Lorenza. They work for the Western Farm Worker Association, supporting farm workers and low-income workers in Hillsborough and the Washington County area. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Guillermo Magallon, and I'm the operations manager for Western Farm Workers Association, an organizing drive of over 20,000 migrant and seasonal farm workers here in Northern Oregon and Southern Washington State. I want to introduce Lorenza Villanueva, who is a member of our Workers Benefit Council, lead delegate representing Washington County. We are especially honored to speak today to commemorate International Migrants Day, as an estimated 80% of our membership is now or has in the past labored as a migrant worker. Our people know firsthand that the vast majority of migratory laborers are forced to work for survival. The motor behind this is U.S. government policies and international trade agreements designed to maximize profits of monopoly corporations and their investors. They seek the lowest labor costs and the least regulation, making ill-gotten gains at the expense of our lives, our health, and our families' well-being. The labor of an immigrant worker versus a non-immigrant worker produces an equal product. The labor of a migrant versus a year-round resident produces an equal product. The difference is how one group of workers can be and is super exploited with official sanction, so that international agribusiness and other major financial interests can extract a higher percentage of profit. Western Farm Workers has said since day one that immigration law is labor law. For 23 years, Western Farm Worker members have fought policies of the 1% that perpetuate poverty among farm workers, low-paid service workers, the unemployed, the underemployed, temporary workers. We are run on an all-volunteer basis, taking no government funding whatsoever. We have built a base of allies within diverse sectors of the community who have joined our cause. We are proudly self-sustaining, operating every day of the year, daytimes and evenings since 1988. We stand in solidarity with working people all over the world. Hundreds of millions of working people every year become economic refugees, forced to leave their homes to escape the effects of so-called free trade treaties and policies imposed by the World Bank and the IMF that destroy economies of their home countries. Those same forces have turned on the working class population of the United States, resulting in an unprecedented degree of factory shutdowns, home foreclosures, job losses, and have millions wandering from state to state in search of work. A recent study reports that fully 50% of U.S. workers now live below the poverty line. We are committed to uniting all the working people of this community to change that. We invite all of you here today to join with us to change the conditions of migrant and seasonal farm workers. Our labor is put in competition with labor abroad to benefit a few, the 1%, who know no borders, have no allegiance to any country, and will continue to profit on the backs of working people internationally. Unless we organize with the rest of the 99% to change the course of history, only the unity among working people of our nation can change, and in the world can overcome the economic disaster facing more of us every day. We invite you to join with us, with all of the groups that are here today, to take part in a labor in our effort.
Good morning. My name is Lorenza, and as he said, I'm here representing our group out in Hillsborough, and I'm here to say that we need to put a stop to what's happening. We haven't come here to steal anything from anyone. We've come here to work.
Todos con sus palmas, everybody with their hands. Ese bombo que se escuche la voz de los trabajadores inmigrantes, because we are too many of us and the voice is only one.
These companies and Wells Fargo through them
are making a profit off of people.
are making a profit off of people.
So we say,
People over profit. 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 People over. We want Wells Fargo to know
that November 17th wasn't a one-time thing.
that November 17th wasn't a one-time thing.
December 17th.
And this December 17th,
And here we are.
and here we are.
We don't have time to continue to be reactionary, always trying to figure out what to do after the fact. We need to organize. We need to raise our consciousness to understand that when that brother or sister is suffering over there, I'm suffering right here too. So when prisoners get up in Pelican Bay, and they shut the system down on a hunger strike, those of us on the street need to respond. We also need to recognize that the state is going to respond with more repression. So when the brothers had the hunger strike in Georgia, I believe they spoke up by executing Troy Davis. I believe that as this system continues to collapse and work is devalued and the dollar is devalued because capitalism is on its dying leg, I believe that the system is going to do whatever it can, and they're running scared right now because they see what's going on. They see us right here on these steps. We respond to the past, but in the present we create the future. Death to fascism, all power to the people, and that's what's up.
Resistance. And I just want to stand here with all my brothers and sisters. You know, if we're undocumented, if we're not, we're all here in the struggle. We're struggling every day, surviving, and we're here together.
Gracias. We hope to see you everyone tomorrow. Vecinos Unidos, bajo salario, con mucho cariño. Vamos a marchar y luego vamos a seguir el programa. Y nada más quiero mencionar a los grandes compañeros. I just want to introduce you our great compañeros, because many of them